powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage.
Black Adam, let's get straight into it. The plot, the performances, the action, and the soundtrack. Starting with the plot, it wasn't anything that we've never seen before. From the likes of Terminator 2.
Swear I won't kill anyone.
I swear I will not kill anyone.
With Arnold trying to learn the nuance of what life is, from Drax also learning the same thing. This story is pretty much just the story of a man who was in prison 5,000 years ago, who was waking up to a different time, different place, different type of people, different society. So he had a lot of understanding and growing to understand just the nuance of what life has to offer and how society has changed from when he was alive or not in prison. I don't think it was anything wrong with that. And I've seen some of the critics, media critics, bash that, but it's been done over and over again in timeless films before, so I don't understand the problem. So it wasn't a problem for me. I thought it was absolutely fine. Moving through the film, it was the same. A lot of action, a lot of slow motion takes, a little bit too many slow motion takes in my opinion. Some of the fight scenes itself, I feel like would have been served better without the slow motion. So that was like one of the knocks that I had. It worked in places where it should have, but it was overused in places I feel like it shouldn't have. And I feel like the action in those scenes that it shouldn't have been utilized probably would have been better if they had not used it. Moving through more of the film, you have Hawkman, you have Atom Smasher, you have Cyclone. Hawkman was a really good cast, a really good character. The dynamic between him and Black Adam, I felt like that was some hostility, and it showed, and it was displayed every single step of the way. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, great casting, very charismatic. I loved it. But Atom Smasher and Cyclone didn't really do much for the story, in my opinion, and they were there just to be there. They didn't drive the narrative in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. They could have easily been replaced by any two other members of the Justice League Society, or not even been in the film at all. But it is what it is. You can't go back and change it at this point. But they didn't really serve a solid purpose within the film. They were just introduced to us as characters for probably future projects. So I'm perfectly fine with that. There was this scene in the film that I actually love so much, where Black Adam was basically in a spaghetti western standoff, and I thought the utilization of just that tone, that style, the camera angles, and the shots was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. The movie itself had some laughs, it had some ups, and it had some downs. And it wasn't a perfect film, but it also wasn't a bad film. I mean, it was okay. It was a popcorn film through and through, in the lines of what you would get from your Fast and Furious franchise. Like, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. And to speaking on that, like, what do you expect from a superhero comic book film? I expect action, and I expect action. Like, the story itself could be done a little bit better, but at the end of the day, we just want to see get blown up and see The Rock be The Rock. The casting is not so bad for him. This is something that he's been working on for a long time. It's been a passion project of his, and he finally got to the point to where he could succeed and get this film where it needed to be. And I applaud him for the work that he put in to, I guess, shaping himself to be Black Adam. One of the stories I've read prior to this was that the padded suit he had initially was like too padded, and plus with his bulkiness, they had to just remove the padding. So what we got was The Rock putting in the work, The Rock gaining the size and the mass that he needed to fit the suit, which brings me back to one of the things I had about Shazam, is that the padded suit for Zachary Levi, I didn't care for. Just put it into work, put a little muscle mass, gain a little size. The padded suit just looks funny, in my opinion. But I know a lot of the superhero films do that, but I'm really appreciative of The Rock for what he did getting in the shape that he did for this role. The soundtrack, the action, really well done. Really well done. We got a little bit of Kanye West in there. And towards the end of the film, there was this song which I find a lot of my music from some films that I watch. So I usually hear a song that I like, I'll Shazam it, and I came across this song called Exile by Eric Zane. The dude has a lot of good tracks. So I think I'm gonna start incorporating some of these type of instances in some of my reviews, especially with the soundtrack, because I want to be a well-rounded person when it comes to music. If it sounds good to me, I'll listen to it. And I found that this song was pretty interesting. And when I dug into the guy's music library, I found a lot of good things that he's done. So I think I will incorporate this type of stuff in some of the reviews. But the movie itself wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it didn't deserve, I feel, what the critic scores gave it. I feel like the audience scores were more in line with the movie. But you have to review a movie for what it is, not for what you want it to be. And I don't know what the media critics want from a superhero film. I mean, we got the action, we got the laughs, we got a solid story, we got The Rock. What else could you ask for? Like, it's a superhero film. It's a comic book film. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking or artsy. It's not an Oscar-worthy film. They never have, and they probably never will be. But what they can be and what they will always be is entertaining, which, as an audience member, that's what I want. If it's funny, if it's action-packed, and I can have fun watching it, I will enjoy it. So, with that said, the critics, in my opinion, I don't really care for their take on this film. But the audience score, last time I checked, is around a 90 plus. And that score is what matters. But if I had to put a score on it, 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. But it's definitely worth the watch. And I do want to see where they take this franchise going forward. Well, that's it for the video. That's it for this review. The movie was good. I definitely encourage people to go watch it. And leave your take in the comment section below, because I want to see what more people think about this film. And the passion that The Rock had going into it, it's definitely warranting just us giving it a shot. But that's it, man. My name's Lincoln. This is the RPG Show. Like, comment, sub, and I'm out. Peace.